Hello there everyone. Welcome to the beginner access tutorial. To start this up, we're just going to open access. And we're just going to want a blank desktop database, and I'm going off of the written lesson we have here, so I'm going to name this pies. So the first thing we're going to do on here is create the first table. And there are 4 different types of objects you can have in a database, and that's tables, queries, forms, and reports. But we're just going to start with a table. We will have at least one of all 4 by the end of this, but we're starting with a table. The first thing to do is define all of your fields that are going to be in this database. And you start by adding the field types. So we're going to have short text for the first field that is going to be entitled pie type, and that is of type short text. Next we are going to have a number that is actually going to be entitled calories. So now we have all of our fields and the field names. You'll also see that there's an ID field that was provided for you. Don't worry about that, that'll be updated and kept up by Access. It's basically just the key for your table, so it makes it really easy to find any given entry by searching for that ID number. If you messed up on a name of your field names, you can just right click on it and go to rename field, and then you can rename it no problem. So now we're going to want to add information into the database just by clicking on each cell and typing in all the information. So for the first one, we're going to have a cherry pie. Calories are going to be 261. This pie only got a C-, and let's say it normally sells for $5.95. And you see it's added it, everything in there, and it updated that ID number by itself to 1. And you didn't have to worry about that at all. So now we're just going to add a few more entries here. So there we have just a few entries in here. And then if you click on the little X here, you can close the table. And do you want to save the changes? Yes, we do. We're going to name this table Pies. Never would have guessed. Next, we want to click on the form icon, which is going to be in the Create tab. You need to make sure you have the table Pies highlighted. My bad. Then we're going to click on this form here. And it just creates a simple default form. And then we can just close it. Yes. We're going to name it Input Pies. And now you see both the table pies and the form input pies are going to appear just on this little easy sidebar here. Alright, to use the form, this little bar here will allow you to just navigate through the records. So we want to navigate to peanut butter pie, which is our 5th record. And we just want to change that price in there from $3.95 to $4.95. Went up. Inflation. Yay! So now if you look, that is changed. So now we want to add a couple of records. To do that, you can click on this little button here. It's got kind of a little arrow with a little yellow thing next to it. If you just click on that, it'll bring you to a new form for a new pie. You don't have to worry about the ID, same as entering it directly in the table. It'll fill that in for you. So let's add a couple new pies that you can choose whatever you want. I'm going to go with, which is Edward's key lime pie. And then we're going to want to go with another pie, so let's go with, we're going to go with my other favorite pie, which is a chocolate cream pie. So now we have our other 2 additions, so we can close the form window now. And if you go back and look at your table, those things that we added are right there. And that change in the price for the peanut butter pie is also reflected in that. And now we're going to click on the Query Wizard button. We want just a simple query wizard. We're going to want to select the pie type and the price for this query. And we're going to click next, and we want a detail query. And we can just leave it as pies query, and then we want to make sure to open the query to view the information afterwards. And you see it just pops up with our query here, and it shows the pie type and price of all the entries in our table. That's the information that we asked for, that's what it's giving you. So now we're just going to close the query, and we have one last thing to show on this thing, and those are our reports. So we're going to choose the report icon, that's in the Create tab as well, and you're going to want to make sure that you have the pies table highlighted when you do this. So we're going to click on the report. So now we're going to click to close this report window just to save the changes. And we're going to name this one pies as well. And that's all there is to it. We have our table itself, we have our query displaying the type of pie and the price. We have the form that'll allow us to change our pies or add new ones. And we have the report that just puts everything in a very nice little page for us. And it totals everything up, and it has all of our information there. So now just upload your database, and you should be done with your assignment. Good luck, everyone. Have fun playing around with Access. It's kind of confusing at the start, but once you get the hang of it, it'll be really great. Have a great day, everyone.